All right, folks, welcome back to the TING Open Season 2 European Groups Winners Match. Remember to go to bttv.ting.com to check out the $25 in credit you get for a phone plan, but also, some people are not aware, this will also apply to their store. So if you want to get a new phone, get $25 off, that's a pretty damn good deal. But we've missed out on a couple of the resubs. But before we even get into the intro for the players, as Bllye is up to no good, I would like to quickly give thanks to Lasidius89, Panic677, Jimwit9, and most recently, First Person Swede, all for your big resubs. Thank you guys for being awesome. But looking for a proxy to put down a la Hatchery, it is going to be the Blue Zerg Bllye.
In the bottom right, as the red Protoss, he is Harstem.
Now, this isn't unexpected by any means out of Bllye. As we described earlier, he's a very different style of player. And to do this so boldly in the first game is him, I think, really hoping Harstem's not going to expect it coming. Harstem going for a Nexus, normal build out of Protoss, nothing looking too strange just yet. But because he's not scouting, he's going to have no indication of this coming until it's too late.
Yeah. It is very funny to see it so just start off like a best of 5. So this is a time where they've maybe thought, okay, it's going to play a macro game, and maybe, like, if he's losing, do throw out a proxy, but it's going to be scouted pretty damn late. The Lings will probably be seen, so, like, at least, like, you know, oh, those are drones.
He's doing spine crawlers. Oh, he's doing spine crawlers, not roaches?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first off, this is, like, the biggest tell right here. Why are there 3 drones? Did you miss rally?
That is not unexpected for me, though. I feel like it is. It's come down to like Roach Ravager versus Terran and Spinecrawler versus Protoss, and that's just how Bllye likes to do it. The thing is, though, I feel like this is a map where we do see it if Bllye is going to do it versus Protoss. It's just something you easily forget because it's super not common. And this is like the first time we've seen Ruins today.
Well, it's just the Ravager version is like a million times more common, and we just see that one so often. So yeah, like not only is this less the strategy you would go for, it's also one that does work. I want to point out that the cliff, if these spine crawlers hug the cliff, I do believe they'll be in range of that gateway. Link's gonna be playing a little bit of interception on that zealot. Maybe no, they're just gonna run up and try and draw. Ooh, the attention to the mineral lines. I actually like that, but there's nothing over here to kill, so unfortunately not quite gonna work out for him. Lots of Links during the front lines now, and this is scary.
It's already, like, not a super great start. Just the fact that the scout was a little bit late. You scout it a little bit earlier, maybe you pull the probes, and one of the spine crawlers actually dies. Or even 2 of them, that's what we've seen before. But with both spine crawlers up, a third one on the way, Queen not able to spread that creep, it is a little worrying. Should Link actually be...
Well, they get the cancels on the cannons, which are going to be kind of important to stall this out further. Because, of course, advancing spine crawlers into cannons is certainly a pain in the butt, but... this is something where he's going to put this up on the high ground even. Whoa, that is getting really major aggressive.
Yeah. I think this is the first time we've seen this not instantly punished with a scout. Yeah. So it's going to be curious to see how it'll do actually pushing in.
He's trying to force field the cannon, but unfortunately not quite going to hit the note on it. It will stop some of the Links from getting the attacks in. That overcharge still in range of the spine crawler. He's got to realize it's a little bit too close for comfort.
Oh, so
that isn't in range. How is that in range though, right? Like, all right, so a couple of cannons are up. Harstem really trying to bide his time here, but Bllye now has really tough decisions to make. He can try and maybe macro a little bit. You know, you squeeze in 1 round of drones every now and then, or you just go full on all in. And it looks like with the Lings attacking their front lines, that might be his goal. He gets a surround, kills the depths. The sentries go down as well, but the cannon's still holding strong behind this. Mothership Core almost has enough energy for another overcharge, but that's why she's forced to stay in the back. There's no overcharge available. If those pylons go down, the cannons are actually not in a position to get powered up very easily. Does Harstem realize this? This is a big problem. If Harstem doesn't realize that pylon is the only line of defense, like he's putting more cannons around it, but that pylon, if it dies, 3 cannons will be depowered.
Yeah, and that one spine crawler could reach it. Oh dear.
Okay, so he's kind of got an idea. Overcharge pops off. He's gonna back away. Again, that spine crawler is in range. I don't know or understand how or why. It's like barely like 1 pixel in range type thing, but Link's going to try and take advantage of the distraction. Force fields are looking pretty good. Surrounds go down. Says, oh, that's right. There's an opening to the main. Lings get up here. Harstem's definitely got to panic now. Oh, that sentry goes down. There's going to be nothing force fielding the ramp to protect the probes as they transfer over. Gateways depowered. All kinds of chaos. Surrounded the Nexus in the main, and Bllye is looking to take this game by storm.
Yep. I think this could just... I mean, defending on one base is still possible, because it's going to be 1 base versus 1 base. But it's that Harstem has lost,
It's-
you know, just every single time he's gotten like 4 or 5 units, they've been surrounded and killed.
But
Had that not happened, maybe he has enough of an army.
It's not really one base versus one base, though. It's like one base mining versus one base mining, but Bllye's other base is right here. It's producing directly on the front lines. Baneling's even coming in to bust the cannons and the pylons down now. I mean, Harstem is fortifying himself in. He's going to lose... Oh, this pylon means there's going to be no... Perhaps the Immortal will get shut down? Bllye's dedicating quite a bit now, maybe not realizing too much.
Uh-oh.
He's going to lose the Immortal. Oh, that's...
Yep.
That was what was going to break the spines. That was what was going to take the hits.
Yeah, that might be what really is game over. Again, the army's just never been able to really get to a very good point to break out. It's almost gotten there with each warp in, but then a surround to go down and it would kill it. So without that Immortal to help out, I don't see a way to break out. And now Bllye is starting to join again because he's actually still behind in workers, and he's getting a couple of banelings. And well, that's not the most effective thing against Immortals. I mean, they're gonna definitely take care of any Adepts or Zealots warped in. The Sentries have to use their force fields against them, and then they're gonna be kind of useless after that. Game's still going. Harstem still thinks he has a chance, and it's even supply right now, but it's not just like one base versus one base. It's actually more like production versus not so much production. Oh, that queen.
Oh,
so
she's
nice.
one with all the transfuses. I love she just pops her transfuses off just because. Like, it's the last breath. With this, I heal you. But good game gets called, and Bllye will take the first game in this series. Not looking too shabby for Bllye. That was something, by the way, I can't imagine he's going to be able to pull off a second time in the series. To get it once versus a player like Harstem is a combination, a little bit luck, but also surprise element, and he certainly capitalized on all those points, but I don't think Harstem would let that happen again.
It would have to be, I think, on Dusk Towers. I think it's the only other time we've seen him do it versus Protoss.
Well, the next map is going to be Invader, as I quickly load this up. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, whenever the players are ready, I'm good to go. We'll get this one going ASAP. Ad break comes up after this, so if you guys gotta go to the bathroom or anything, you know, just hold in for one more game. You'll be good to go. Again, just can't describe how, first off, fun it is to watch a player like Bllye, but surprising it is to see something like that work versus Harstem.
No scout, pretty good tactic or something.
And Harstem does scout. That's the thing. He just didn't early scout, I think, is what was really key there. Like, that probe had gone out, and he was hoping to catch Bllye as the natural was finishing, and you see, like, no production really in. But, oh well. Everyone's ready. Good luck, have fun. Waiting on Bllye. Alright, well, hopefully it's not going to take too long to ready up. In the meantime, make sure you guys, of course, go to the website, really driving it home hard. If you're from the United States, bttv.ting.com. I know we're reaching that point where it's like, Rifkin, you're talking about it so much, it's probably shitty and I don't want to go there. But we're mentioning it because they really do have some great deals. And again, you don't have to buy their you don't have to sign up for their services. You don't have to use the month to month. You can even just buy something from the store and it's just as good. But okay, ready and good luck's called. So we'll see you guys on Invader for game number 2. It's the winner's match still, and the loser of this will fight TLO. See you guys soon. Alright, this time I don't want to say it's me. Shouldn't be, at least. Alright. Game number 2. Spawn on the upper left side of Invader. He's up 1 point and currently teamless. It's the Blue Zerg Bllye.
The bottom left as the red Protoss. He is Invasion Esports Harstem.
Okay, I'm going to tab out right now, make a straw poll. So again, Rifkin always tabs out. I hate his observing. Shut up for a second. We're tabbing out to make a straw poll. And I want to know what you guys prefer. What do you prefer for Bllye? Hashtag Bllye on fire or hashtag rely on Bllye? Let me know which of these you guys prefer. Because I'm really curious, actually. Thank you to Rapti of Suzaku. Oh gosh, I hope I said that right, because that first word almost threw me off.
Right?
For the 12-month resub, you qualify for a Partoof. Make sure to send us a message on the channel, and just a general blanket statement, guys. This last month has been a little bit hectic with trying to get new Partoofs made, forged, crafted. If you sent us a message and you haven't gotten a Google Documents form to fill out from us, please just message us again. I missed one person, and they messaged me again last night, and I felt a little bit bad about it, so just in case anyone else is missing, you know what to do. But Invader, I believe we saw a Nidus Worm come down last time we saw this fella play.
Yes, versus Terran.
Yes.
In a horizontal spawn. So aggressive moves, horizontal spawn makes sense if it's something that is, by air or by ground, I guess, with a Nidus Worm. I don't know. But if the vertical spawns, I don't think that really be necessary. If you want to be aggressive with roaches versus Protoss in these spawns, just attack them at the front. Break down the rocks, maybe overload drop into the main base if you really want. I just don't think an Nidus Worm would be like the super good way to go, but it is Bllye, and he used to do them all the time, so if he feels like it, he'll do it.
Last night, I had a dream about Pokemon, right? And I thought I saw a shiny Zubat. Just as rare, we see Partoof entering the chat and gracing us with his presence.
I was wondering where this was going.
Oh, what's up, Partoof? Good to see you, man.
Did you really have a dream like that?
I actually did, legit. I was playing, I've started bringing my DS with me on my walks, because I've been going for night walks instead of day walks, so I can actually see the screen. Because if I go for a walk in the middle of the day, the sun's out, you can't do anything. Yeah. So I've been playing with my DS, I've been playing Sapphire all over again.
I had a dream where I was with a bunch of friends, some of my old friends and some of my esports friends, and we are all going to get pedicures, which I never do, so I don't know why I was there. And for whatever reason, they made us strip, like a massage, but it was a pedicure. And then the worst part, it would turn into a nightmare, was they took us away from each other. So it was just me and everyone that worked there.
Oh.
And I hate that. I was oh god. It was like a nightmare.
I feel like that's how some really low budget pornos might start,
Oh no, it wasn't like that, but it was just I was the only person in their store. Everyone else was had gone somewhere. But the point is, I was left with people I didn't know, and I was super bored. And at some point, I was just I'm super bored, and they started yelling at me that I should be glad I'm waiting or something, because they weren't doing anything. Guys, it was a nightmare, okay? This is the worst thing about going outside, is having to interact with people you don't know.
Then why did you describe it as a dream? You should have said I had a nightmare last night.
I should have.
It was
because at
terrifying.
At first it was really nice. I was with all my friends, and we were having jokes and fun times, and then they took me away. They took me away.
Well, I'm sorry that you were just so scarred by this. So Bllye's going to go for Overlord drops.
Hey.
How's that?
Because
explain yourself.
Harstem's gonna be scarred by this super duper attack that's gonna be followed up with a Baneling attack. I mean,
actually, trolling aside, there's actually only one pylon powering all of his production. He's got nothing in the mineral lines. If these lings actually went straight for the pylon, that would be more devastating than losing workers, I feel.
Yeah. If this was immediately followed up by the bust, I think Harstem's in a ton of trouble. But Bllye actually droned a little bit, and the Baneling isn't quite done, so it's actually not going to be Banelings immediately. It is very curious to see Bllye aggressively expand, but with the tech structures he's getting so early on, I guess he is planning on being either more aggressive or willing to, get aggressive. If Harstem does first, then he'll just counter. And Harstem does have his War Prism with Resonating Glaives, and, it's only 3 gateways, but it's going to be annoying, just as annoying as his Overlord drop.
Yeah. Bllye really did not accomplish much with this. And that's not a bad thing, because he still has it alive and is able to use it later, but I don't think Harstem's going to let his defense down. The sneak attack element of this was probably the best part of it.
Yeah. I really am curious why Bllye went for that super early Baneling nest and then just didn't use it. Maybe something he saw, or just really wanted those early lings to do more damage before he followed up, but didn't. Oh well. The Banelings will still be useful if he wants to make any against these Adepts. He'll just leave them in the mineral line, something like that, and they won't be able to drop off as easily. The War Prism just leaves.
If these were Banelings, this would be so much more deadly. I really wish he would actually just take these out more from the Banelings and come back for the Mineral Lions, because this is not working. The Lings are just silly to watch.
Yeah. Overlord's finally gonna die. Didn't really want to warp in any anti-air.
He gets a stalker kill and a probe to go with it. I mean, ultimately not the worst trade-off ever.
Yeah.
This base has the overcharge just pops, so nothing too scary here. Bllye is pretty much committing to army, and only army at this point. There's no upgrades on the way. He stopped droning. He's got a decent count for 3 bases, but this is something where it looks like he's starting to pull the queens together, and he's just going to be marching across the map with one big all-in to try and knock Harstem down.
Sometimes I really appreciate the whole, like, zombie grub will trip you in a bank heist. And sometimes it highlights Twitch for me, and I think people are talking shit about me.
Well, I mean, we kind of are. Like, why
why
are you tripping people and killing people in bank heists, bro?
Looking for new shit.
Boy, I sure wish I had a phone service like TING that I could use to call 911 on Zombie Grub.
What? No, that was terrible. Stop. Anyway, 11 drones went down in the main base, I believe. Looks like the War Prism once again got out. So nice damage done there. But Bllye, he's attacking. Can Harstem hold?
Right, this is a lot of army supply for Bllye, but the thing is a lot of Protoss players will take good defensive engagements even with that supply deficit. It's when they attack it gets worrying and harassing. But right now, we do have a couple pylons on the way. There's nothing really to overcharge. That Mothership Core's got a lot of energy she just can't make use of. But with the Queens now approaching the front lines, transfuses are going to go down. It's a little bit of extra damage. Bllye gets trapped behind the force fields, but as we saw, transfuses kept some of those alive for a little bit longer than expected. Last second splits are good, like Moses parts the seas, but it's not quite going to be enough for the looks of it. Oh, actually, I'd like to pick up on the War Prism to try and keep some of these units alive. Of course, he's got to unload them and get that damage back on the field, but Harstem has brought that supply count from being double to almost manageable.
Almost. There is a big Ling flood on the way, and that's really where the problems start to arise, just Bllye's reinforcements weren't coming. I think he had to wait for all his larvae to pop, because he did, of course, take a lot of his queens.
I love that the queens were focus firing and consistently focus firing on the Warp Prism too. He knew this pickup shenanigans would be really annoying to deal with, so consistently trying to reshuffle these around, almost lose the Warp Prism with 2 immortals inside of it, but Harstem holds on, and that third base still not touched through this attack. This has been a pretty great defense, but it's still not over. As you noted, there's 30 legs that just arrived on his front lines, and he's still dancing with no adepts, trying to pick up and drop these immortals to the best of his capabilities, but they're surrounded instantly.
I almost runs his own corrosive bile. I mean, he wants to hit the War Prism with it, just one lucky shot, but it's not happening.
The moves out of Harstem with these 3 immortals are so damn impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's the reason, if he pushes this back and wins, I would say those immortal micro.
Not only the immortal micro, the War Prism, I mean, it had so little health. It still has so little health. It's picking up probes now to keep them alive. Third base still alive. Harstem holds the line. +1 weapons are done. These immortals have barrier off of cooldown, and looks like he's going to be able to actually fully clean this up.
Queens, what are you doing?
Yo, if someone wanted to clip that War Prism dance, that would have been a good clip moment. I'm just saying.
Yeah. More Lings, more Ravagers, and a couple more Queens, but also a few more drones. Bllye realizes the all-in didn't really truly work, and I guess he's just trying to middle of the road it right now.
He's still got option to knock down this third by the looks of it, but as the immortals approach the front line, again, their barriers are coming off of cooldown. They'll have that shielding once again, and Harstem, if he did it once with the War Prism, I believe in him to do it again. These Ravagers are being pushed back. They are being shut down. That supply now favors Harstem severely. 3 bases, 52 probes, 38 army supply, and 1 level of upgrades. He's about to win this game.
He is. That was just great control on those immortals, and you know, the very specific warp-ins of adepts to cover them, just enough to take care of the Lings, most importantly. Harstem's done it. Still has the Warp Prism, of course, to warp in now in a counterattack.
It's so dangerous. He'll have danced a million battles through this Warp Prism with 21 health, but the second he warps in, that's when Corrosive Biles can actually hit it. That's when he'll just suddenly die. But there's so many immortals that just can't be dealt with. I mean, 6 immortals at this point, almost 1 for each roach. Checks up here, no base. Surprise, surprise, that wasn't all in as he confirms his suspicions.
Yeah,
no,
and Bllye.
Bllye's not tapping out, and not because Bllye's BM. Bllye always does this. Like, he'll fight to the last, and he's a scary guy specifically because of that. And he's actually won games we've called lost many times before. Oh. But I don't feel there's much Harstem can do to throw this away.
I kind of forgot that a Baneling even was in play. We finally have 13 Banelings, but I mean, I'm not sure quite what for. I guess to take away the Adepts covering the Immortals, but not much to support that afterwards. Not a lot of Lings, not a lot of Roaches, so...
I wonder if... I love that he's not even being careless. Like, he's actually still playing this at 110%. Harstem is not, like, let one small victory go to his head.
Yeah. Picks him up, goes home. Harstem's getting a 4th base at the gold and finishing up his +2 upgrade, which has never been denied or even stalled out, despite being on the very front lines. That should be the winning push. Bllye's pretty sure he's dead. He didn't even have a lair. He doesn't have a 3rd base, but he's hoping that maybe Ravagers, good corrosive bio shots, maybe they'll make up for it.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
this is Harstem would have to be on move command, I think, for that to really truly get out of control.
It definitely isn't going to happen. But this is the type of guy that Bllye is. His banelings do run into the adept. There goes the force fields finally, but not even that many. Oh no, just enough on the back end to really take care of those banelings without sacrificing his adepts. Which, mind you, even if all the adepts died, there's still enough army. Like, he's still fine.
Yeah, and of course in the main, the Immortal's still dancing, so this is going just swimmingly. I guess some Banelings looking to try and go to that mineral line, but no metal workers' losses from this base, I think, are going to cost in the game. In fact, half at most. Not bad. I mean, 15 workers is still 15 workers, but Harstem's still sitting at 45 on the back end of that. So this is looking pretty good for the comeback to tie up the series 1-1. Again, we called this game over a little while ago. Fights are still going down, but this is still like 80. So he's dancing. He knows where he's at in the game. GG. Some smiley faces as well. Bllye taps out, and Harstem will take the 2nd game, tying it up 1-1. This will also lead us toward a very quick ad break, guys. So just 2 minutes of commercials, and we'll get into game number 3 as soon as possible. Thanks for tuning into the TING Open Season 2. Don't go anywhere. This series continues when we return. Also, a donation. First donation of the day. Pickled Pokute. $10. Says, I'm glad you're no longer being beat down by your allergy. I guess garlic only blooms for a short time. Rock on, BaseTradeTV. Thank you for the donation. We'll be back in 2 minutes. God damn. All right, welcome back to game number 3. It's tied up now 1-1 here in the winners match for the TING Open European Group. Thank you guys for watching. And a reminder, check out bttv.ting.com. Claim some credit, get some cheap discounts in their store, excuse me, or just buy into Ting, guys. Give it a shot. $25 in credit, you can get a month for free basically, and try it out. In the upper left side, we've got a donation coming in. We'll get to that in a moment. But the Blue Zerg Bllye, who, according to the recent polling, is preferred as #Bllye on fire.
Aw, I voted for yours.
Yeah, I did rely on Bllye too.
In the bottom right, as the red Protoss, he is Harstem.
And while Bllye might be on fire, Harstem was relying on Bllye to do cheese again. So he does send a very early probe scout and sees no natural base, no spawning pool. All signs point to shenanigans, and he should be able to prepare for this better this time. No Nexus going down right away means he's going to have more buildings to produce with. 2 gateways, a couple of zealots early on, even adepts. This should go better for him.
Thank you to Riamar for the $50 donation.
Oh, shit.
He sent me one on my solo cast as well, so big thanks.
Riamar says hi. That's literally the donation message, as expected from Riamar. So thank you very much, Riamar. Always taking care of us here on the channel, always being a badass. You know, if we were to support it, if we were to hypothetically ever get a team together, I'm pretty sure like half of it would be funded by Riamar. That guy has got like,
right?
He's got the mega StarCraft BaseTradeTV passion.
Yeah. All right, so scouted, now like known exactly where it is. This is where things go badly very, very quickly because the zealot and the probe or probes get right on top of the building spine crawlers, and even just canceling 1, maybe even 2, like that's a big deal. Bllye needs more than just 1 spine crawler to really make this work. Photon overcharge on the pylon nearest to the hatchery works too. Maybe you can snipe a couple of the you can snipe the queen or maybe some of the lings that pop out. It just is already a very bad start for Bllye.
Yeah. The spine crawlers going in the very back, I actually like quite a bit. Doesn't want to put those on the front lines or risk them getting picked off too early, but as we see, Zealots have certainly got the damage to knock them down quick. Getting these up is going to be quite the task. He's going to have to play kind of shuffle the P around, I guess. Which one's the spine crawl that will actually go up? Oh, kills like one. He kills one.
Around? Did you say the P?
Yeah, you put the P under the cup and you...
Who uses a P? It's all squishy.
I don't know.
Anyway...
Why you gotta make me feel insecure about my choice to shuffle around a round object underneath cups, man?
Because when you first said it, I thought you were shuffling around like Corruptor P.
Oh.
Wow, that
You just-
mothership core took on that queen.
Just fill a glass up, I guess. Yeah, so the dynamic a lot of people forget is like a mothership core and a queen will actually trade out very oddly. Like sometimes the queen will win, sometimes the mothership core wins. And as we see, barely the mothership core does win, meaning she's alive for another overcharge as Bllye is bringing everything to make this work. I mean, this is, yeah, it's all in more, exactly.
He could Photon overcharge the pylon and probably kill the hatchery, but that would bring in broodlings as well, which I'm not sure he wants to do. No, just let the pylon die. Just let it die.
It's crazy to me that Bllye still commits to this. He has so little income behind all of it. What, the evolution chamber misclick? I don't know. He really wants to dart past the wall, hoping to get past these zealots. Tries so desperately to kill the pylon. He will actually get in. Overcharge misses. And now there's a bit of a problem with this. Nothing to defend in the main but probes. But can Bllye get the worker count, the kills, to actually make this worthwhile? He's absolutely failed at getting spine crawlers up on the other side of the field. It looks like probes being pulled, probes being stacked. He did lose all the lings, and only one probe died for it.
I don't even know how. That was actually a fair number of lings. Dang. Well, that's bad news for Bllye, who needed to at least like 10 to even start to think about winning this game, but even then, it wouldn't be enough.
I think his reasoning is there's still no natural base up for Harstem. But that's almost worse because you know it's all in the favor of production. As we see, the spine core can't even go down. He's been pushed off of creep with it, for goodness sake. Lings dart through to the main once again.
This time get more than one probe?
Yeah.
There we go.
Some of them were low from that first attack, so they're easily cleaned up here. But even then, killing these probes still not nearly netting enough to win the game. Spine crawlers are starting to go up, though, and I'm getting surprised that this game is getting any traction for Bllye whatsoever. But he's starting to make some stuff happen. We got a donation coming in. Oh, why did it sign me out of Twitch alerts? What the
I got you.
Okay.
Shish donates $10. Please tell BCP that people bet real money on his matches. Never give up, never surrender. Go Bllye.
Well, here's the thing, Shizuke. Players, as well as many commentators, ourselves included, are not a fan of people who bet money on matches because we think it ruins some of the esports aspect of it. But I agree with the never give up, never surrender aspect.
Yeah, I agree about like half of it. It's more like the first part. Unfortunately, we don't care.
it's almost worse than I care. Betting scandals are what ruined Korean esports.
Yeah, and I know that it's actually like what you're doing is not like, you know.
It's not bad. Like, you shouldn't feel bad.
But
Go ahead, bet your ass off, man. But don't ever tell players about it because that's the worst thing you can do. That's how match fixing. That's how life's career and life got ruined.
In general, like you tell an NFL player like, hey, I bet $50 and you lost. Like,
they're not
lose next time. They're not gonna take it nicely.
Yeah. But I absolutely agree with the second sentiment. Never give up, never surrender, and go Bllye. Bllye, of course, needing the cheers and the well wishes right now. I'm surprised though. Like with the Immortals out, this should get shut down. You'd think, but there's enough lings bullying these back. They can't get to those spine crawlers as easily as he wanted to.
Yeah, just tap it in. Yeah,
I mean,
now we have an
that
overlord
hatchery
drop going to the main base.
Well, then the hatchery should have died forever ago too. That's a whole other aspect. But yeah, as the lings get to the main, we'll see how much damage gets done. Mothership core finishing off the queen means she can finally finish off that hatchery. But the hatchery not so important as much as these lings are. If they kill enough probes, this puts Bllye back in the game. He's getting some kills initially, catches Harstem off guard.
It's actually silly how close this game is becoming. Lings are probably still not going to be the answer as more depths warp in, but they're doing a surprisingly good job.
French hitting us up with a 16-month resub, by the way. Thank you so much. Or merci beaucoup, because it's French.
French, yeah.
Alright, so Harstem's probe count is finally lower than Bllye's worker count, but the difference, I think, is that army supply. While Harstem would lose this game, I think, if he went down to like 1 or 2 probes, he still has more than enough army to just kind of face roll across the map, you know?
Just face roll across that keyboard. Just go for it. Just roll it on over.
Yep.
It is a little tricky just because if Bllye could get a decent amount of lings, the Immortals don't do super well against them, and the Banelings would hopefully take out the Adept. So that is a super perfect world type of deal.
This game, by the way, perfectly highlights Bllye's stubbornness and why sometimes it can be effective. Like this almost did bring this game back, despite how much of a failure the actual proxy was. More lings gonna be in the main. There's gonna be overcharges this time though.
Yeah, no, this will not do as much damage. They could go for the pylons and the natural and try and get rid of the production, I suppose, but I don't think he's thinking about that right now. He's thinking about the probes. There we go.
Bring it to some sort of weird base trade, yeah. Main base is gonna get knocked down, and I guess it is in the weakest essence of the phrase a base trade, but Harstem's gonna win this. Harstem is definitely gonna win this.
Bllye will be revealed soon.
Oh, that's.
I wonder where his buildings are.
that's a thing that's happening for real.
Okay, there come the Banelings. I said, like, if they could pick up the Adepts, and then maybe the Lings pick off the Immortals, like, this would be perfect, but there's just not enough anything.
Alright, we're back with the series going back and forth. I like this. Harstem now takes a 2-1. But some people were asking earlier, is TLO still in this? Yes, TLO is waiting to play the loser of this series. If Harstem wins this next game, it'll be a ZvZ Finals. If Harstem loses this, Bllye turns it around, it'll be a PvZ Finals. But TLO's still on deck waiting, guys. He'll be playing against whoever loses this. But the next game might be the last one. We'll find out. Harstem takes a very nice 2-1 lead. As we get into this next match, we'll go to a small break. Keep it short to 2 minutes. Let's get with more of the Ting Open when we return. All right, bringing it back to game number 4. This could be the last one of the winners match. We'll find out here shortly. Fringe calling me out, by the way. Apparently I made the same joke 16 times now. Man, I'm sorry. I don't have a good memory, and sometimes I just think I'm being clever on the spot. But I'm clearly not. Doesn't mean I think any less of you.
I actually don't even remember that. So I must have blocked it from my mind.
In fairness, we technically go through 1,000 resubs a month. So I'm going to forget that.
Okay.
All right, well, folks, we are getting into the game. Bottom left side of Arena, we've got the blue Zerg. He's skipping his natural, going straight to that third. It's Bllye.
The top left, as the red Protoss, he's Harstem.
I think I meant to say skipping the natural, going straight to the third. What
did you say skip the third, go to the natural?
I think so. My brain's on fried right now.
We all know what you meant. Yeah, I'm really tired for whatever reason.
Right.
Like, I got fine enough sleep, but I did go to the doctor, I suppose, this morning.
So my mistake was I decided to try and hit like a new high score with my daily steps yesterday, and I did.
Oh, yeah,
I had like 22,000 or something, and I got 9 hours of sleep, which is insane because normally I sleep for 4. But I woke up exhausted. Like I've never felt like this before.
Well, that's. I apparently broke my Fitbit somehow, which is disappointing. It doesn't charge anymore. So either the charger's broken or the Fitbit is. And,
is it the same one I got you for Christmas or whatever? Because if it is,
yeah,
it's probably the charger then. Because the charger was fucked back then too.
It was the same thing. Yeah, I might ask for another charger.
What
I
is
gotta
it with
wait for the
chargers?
charger.
You broke the cord for your Corsair headset.
No,
you broke the Fitbit.
No. Excuse you, the Fitbit, I don't know. I think the default one was just broken in general. I don't know what happened to this one. Because my cat did not eat this one. But the other one, you can all blame it on Apollo for eating them. Okay, I try and not let him.
I blame you.
I've saved my mic cord this entire time.
No. See, I blame you for not disciplining your cat better. This is like parents who let their kids go ape shit at restaurants, and it's like, oh, it's the restaurant's fault.
In your room.
I know, and it's shut up.
Yeah, I thought so. I take buying. Like,
why do you have to bring this to low blows? Like that was unnecessary.
I'm sorry. Your cat's cute.
She's not. She pees all over my room.
Oh, you're supposed to say thank you, and then I said I didn't call you cute. Damn it. Sorry. Okay, natural base from Bllye down. He's got 3 bases. Looking to be fantastic. I really thought and assumed this would be that situation where, boom, it's the all-in once again out of Bllye. Sure, it didn't work in Game 3, but maybe he tries the game for Game 4. But not going for a big Ravager all-in sets him up pretty decently for a macro game. And Arena has shown us a surprising amount of macro games. Like, we've seen 4th and 5th taken on this map. We've even seen the extreme edges of the map taken in a perfectly split scenario. But I do feel like, just generally speaking, on the pacing of the game and the way these have been playing out, I'm feeling it for Harstem. Like, I really do think a 3-1 is totally possible here and now. So a lot of emphasis, a lot of pressure on Bllye to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes and makes the right moves to take him on. Gotta just, quickly complain how TLO used to be Terran, and I used to cheer for him. Just kidding.
Actually, I love really that TLO saying it in chat. We sometimes have like Mana and a couple other people pop in from time to time. We actually have a surprising amount of pros who I know lurk our channel. We've talked at events and stuff about it, but specifically, and I'm not going to say names, they're always worried like, oh yeah, we don't want to like draw too much attention away from the games, and I can kind of feel that. Yeah. But it's always nice. It's always nice seeing friendly faces in chat at the end of the day.
All right, so macro game as you said, Bllye like early shenanigans, which is possible, but I guess he's 50-50 with early shenanigans, so he doesn't want to do it again here.
Yeah.
Roach Warren, Lair, standard.
I think if Bllye was up 2-1, we would have seen the shenanigans come out, but being a little bit behind is certainly a bit worrisome.
Well, quick attempt to get a cancel here. That's enough lanes that if they were like right on top of it when it just started, probably would have had to cancel, but it was just a little bit too far gone. And it's you know, more about what is this lair going to lead into. We see Arena have a couple of Muta games, surprisingly. Like, Muta transitions as a surprise have really fallen off, I think, you know, because Stargate openers have picked up and whatnot, but if you can actually get, you know, away unscouted with it, it can be quite powerful. But of course, I think more commonly we just see Roach Ravager busts on that third base through the middle of the map, which are still very powerful, but Protoss has definitely gotten better against defending.
I wonder how different the world would be if Tilo had played Zerg and swapped 2 turns.
It'd be a better world.
Okay, War Prism's gonna get focused down by the Queens. Looks like that
whoa.
gets picked off immediately. That takes away all the follow-up to Harstem's push. So now Bllye knows he doesn't actually have to worry about too much from this. Yeah, it's a little bit scary early on, and of course there's gonna be the recall factor here, and should hopefully recall. His Mothership, of course, getting focused down pretty quick. Does get the recall off.
That same attack has actually killed Bllye specifically,
Yes.
I believe, when he tried to go for a Spire, actually. Which he is going for now, but that was a much better defense than any other one we've seen. An instant Warp Prism kill was just really, really good. And the Mutas could be a problem. Now, Harstem did go for a Stargate, just later than usual. It wasn't an opener for him. So if he gets any scouting on it, he'll have the start of a defense. The start.
That first attack got deflected so well. I wasn't sure he was actually going to follow up with more, but still posturing in the middle of the map.
Oh.
My camera angle feels off. One sec, guys. Yeah, that was off slightly? No.
Shiz donated $11, but it's not Shiz K, so is it the same person? Dun dun dun. Says I stopped betting. Now I'm addicted to donating. Go Bllye. Well, I mean, you can,
I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain.
No, that's, I mean, a big part is, like, we know people like to bet on things. That's a big part of the Partoofs, right? Like, just having the bot to bet stuff around. Like, again, legit betting on certain sites, like, that's cool and all that. Like, don't feel shamed for betting, man. We didn't intend to shame you for betting if that's how you felt, but...
it was more the idea of telling a player, like, hey...
Yeah. If we're gonna zombie grump, I bet $500 on that match and you took the stream down, I'm gonna be like, well, it sucks to be you. But anyways, thank you again for the donation. Very, very much appreciated. Very kind of you, sir. Hydras are out in big enough number that the Phoenix shouldn't be too much of a problem. He's gone for the range upgrades instead of the fast Lurker Den, which is going to be pretty key to shuffling around and maneuvering with these units. But I am wondering how much this will go to Lurkers. Lurkers are very, I'd say, interesting unit. They were so almost overpowered when they first came back into play, and nobody really knew how to deal with them. You had the awkward disruptor standoffs, which were probably my favorite versions of the game, to be honest, but no one really does that anymore. Just people who play against Guru. Guru goes like 80 lurkers.
Yeah. Good War Prism denial from Bllye. Obviously, there's really only one little section of arena you're going to be sending your War Prism into unless you try and be very clever with it, so it's usually a pretty easy defense. The Spire did finish, it just wasn't used, so that could come into play later on, you know, once we're past the potential Lurker stage. Maybe it's a Greater Spire a lot quicker. Of course, Bllye, he's gone for some quick Greater Spires before, and then just kind of got screwed on the timing by like 30 seconds or 50 seconds. Now, maybe that won't happen, but he'd have to get there first. And his army isn't exactly the greatest. There is no Lurker Den, there's no upgrades. Harstem's about to finish +1. Charge isn't quite done, and the Warp Prism wasn't with him, so I guess this was only just going to be poking and prodding. But it is getting to the point where like Harstem's army is starting to look just a little bit better. Temple Archive's finishing up as well.
League's managed to find nothing opposing them, running straight down the middle of the map again to the base. There's still wall off, Force Field goes down, and oh, that's going to cost Bllye's legs. And a Creep Tumor to boot.
Allows Bllye to move into the third base, but I don't know if it's a good enough army to really do that.
Yeah, and if you want to push in there, you're going to get caught inside. You might get the base kill, but there'll be no escape afterwards, which is the problem. The Hydralisk count is quite high, though, coming into this. Harstem's got upgrades on his side a little bit, but this numbers game looks like it favors Bllye, especially with the Corrosive Biles coming down on top of this. Almost kills the Mothership Core by accident.
Oh, yeah. I think another weapon of charge lots and charge finishing, of course, and this is a much better army, but it was just that 10 seconds where Harstem was like, I don't really want to take a fight if I don't have to. And they both realized, I think, that it could go either way. Bllye could over-dedicate, Harstem could mess up the defense. So Bllye goes back, he has to deal with a very small Zealot attack, and actually take care of the War Prism for it, so not very worth for Harstem.
Yeah, well, his army continues to bulk up with an enormous immortal count. I mean, we're sitting here on 9 already, more on the way. We'll make this even higher, 11 to deal with. Mostly Hydra seems weird, but their barrier ability, allowing them to just live. The Warp Prism micro we saw earlier could come into play. I mean, Harstem's army looks great for what's at hand. It doesn't look great for what's following up, though, and that's Mutas in that production tab. 13 of them, to be precise. A couple of Phoenix are left over from earlier, but I really don't think Harstem's got eyes or suspicions about this tech swap.
This could be bad. 13 meters isn't a devastating amount initially, but it is only that 1 Stargate and 5 Phoenixes, so maybe it'll snowball. Where are they chilling? Oh, they're just chilling in the middle of the national and the third base. Maybe he's gonna get more.
I really hope he surprises. I think he wants to get more Phoenix kills. I think that's very much the intention of this attack. Yeah. But Harstem's Phoenixes are in the middle of nowhere right now. No suspicion this is coming. Now they're coming back home, and this is everything Bllye wants if he can pick them off. But unfortunately, with the Immortals so close in chase, he can't stop to attack them.
Yeah, that was quite unfortunate. You're right. It could have been a perfect opportunity to just kill all the Phoenixes possible, but misses it. And now the Mutas, they did start to move, and then they just moved in the main base again. So it is, I think, exactly what you're saying. He's waiting to kill the Phoenix count entirely. I mean, 0 Phoenix compared to 5, when there's only 1 Stargate, that is a big deal.
And if he waits too long, other problems are going to present themselves with the ground army just being outnumbered. Like, you're not going to have the Ravager, Roach, Hydra supply because you've put them into those Mutas. I like the intention to still keep going for Overseers. He wants to be able to pick off the Observers and make sure these Lurkers can be a little bit more, I guess, uncontested. Nice pick up on the Warp Prism, by the way. Only 1 Zealot gets through.
Yeah, and doesn't scout the Mutas.
No, that's very important that he doesn't scout the Mutas. But Fleet Beacon starts up, assuming that this is going to go towards a different direction. The Phoenix might find the Mutas, though, awkwardly and oddly enough.
I guess Harstem got... Oh, well, okay, I guess it's around that time, actually. So it's less about the Mutas possibly coming out, and it's more about the Brood Lords.
Yeah, but the funny thing is...
So the Mutas finally reveal themselves.
The Fleet Beacon will give Anion Pulse Crystals. The second Stargate will give production. So Bllye, I think, is going to hit a forced timing here. As the Phoenix are out of position, they're going to rush back home. These Stalkers aren't going to be enough to stop this alone. An Overcharge goes off. Buys a little bit of time. Mutas not exactly diving into the probes, but now they are. 11 go down so quickly to this. He's also got +1 weapons. He was researching, but I guess had canceled it. Oh no, he actually finished them. Excuse me, I was looking at the wrong upgrade tab down there. So Bllye actually has a little bit of damage on these Mutas.
He just went for an attack. I mean, he could start his Phoenix production as well, but he went for it. He lost, I guess, most of his buffer.
Oh, you know what,
though? But still has all the Immortals left over.
But there's no anti-air. There's only sentries.
Oh,
so these 5 Mutas, even reinforcing, could have actually stayed at home and done damage. But on the other side of the map, he is getting out of control. You might have Fania Pulse Crystals, you might have 9 Stargates, but if you've got no probes mining, none of that matters. But recognizing that there's no anti-air comes to pounce on top of these Immortals, which are still very important, very expensive units.
Oh no, the Sentry tried to get lead like 1.
Oh, there's Storms?
Storm is done.
But is Storm enough? Storm's like whatever for Mutas.
Yeah, as long as the Archons get a good shot, we're gonna
Oh, they're stacked. This is scary.
Jesus.
He's got a box, so he's got to spread him. He's got to do whatever he can to not take damage. But Blye's investing fully into this air transition. 8 more Mutas coming up behind this. 22 drones died from looks like a Zealot attack on a couple different fronts. This Muta count, though, really did catch Harstem off guard. There's no doubt about it. But Anion Pulse Crystals is finishing up shortly. This is a fight that I don't think he wants to take, so he's going to go for the Nexus instead.
So definitely use Revelate. Use the Oracle while you can. I mean, Harstem, it's pretty important that he got those drone kills when he did, because he like lost 45. So getting up to a total of 31, and I think they're still attacking that third base. The Phoenix count, it still needs time to get higher. Like, yeah, they can't actually engage like this. Although Anion Pulse is just finished.
Yeah, so now we can actually dance around the Mutas all day. Blye's going to be very frustrated when he bleeds these units out slowly but surely.
And he was unable to get the Immortals, so the Lurker, like, back into Lurkers is still probably the right move. Like, I don't know, eventually the Mutas are just going to be hard countered, but...
We're also going to be at that point where there's going to be so many Phoenix, ideally, that you could just lift up all the Lurkers.
It's true, actually. The Phoenixes are not bad, even if they're left over and there's no more air war to go down. They can still pick up very important units.
These are being danced around very nicely. Bllye doing a lot of like stop and turn around on a dime type thing. But the Phoenixes, the fact that they can move and shoot, prove to be very difficult to clean up, still gets kills. Bllye should never, like in a perfect world, never even touch these Phoenix. But he's doing a great job picking them off, getting them low. Harstem's worker count, Bllye's worker count, their bases mining are somewhat similar. This is still nothing too bad. And Bllye might even just say, you know what, fine, I'm going to lose all the mutas. I'll kill as many probes as I can before I do.
But the main attack is going down with the cannons here. It looks like the mutas are finally going to die.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of splash. There's not many charge slots, and I don't know where the Warp Prism is. That's just an Oracle. So this attack on the front is a little bit scary, but there's actually so many Immortals. I think that Harstem still would take it.
So bullying. It's like that kid who just like holds your lunch bag up because you can't reach it, and he's just being a dick. Like that's basically what Phoenix is at right now in this situation.
Yeah. Bllye is going to lose his 4th base.
And all the drones with it.
And a natural are mined out.
That means he's in a lot of trouble. That was his main mining base. Like this has got a few minerals left in it, but not much. Can barely get another base up after this, I feel.
Yeah.
More probes did go down on the other side of the field. Lurker actually managed to sneak across somehow. So, hi.
Yeah, it went from the 4th. Oh no, I think that was a 3rd one. The 4th goes down to the other 2 Lurkers. So, I mean, Harstem still has a full mining base, and Bllye has more drones, but just not a lot of minerals to use. I don't know. Lurker, please kill that Lurker. Okay.
Man, there's so much action going around the field right now for both these players, but it's in such small quantities. Of course, the main force is here for Harstem, and gosh almighty, I bet you wishes he had a mothership core with this just to recall this back home.
Right? Yeah. I mean, really, all he needs, I think, is just a little bit of like time to breathe to get his probe count back up to where it was, to get them back on mineral mining and gas mining, most importantly, I think, because his 3rd is not mining gas anymore. And I think he'd win, but things are getting too hectic, and if he splits his army inappropriately, loses the Phoenixes, which would be very, very helpful. I mean, anything like that, and Bllye could still take this game.
As much as there's emphasis on the worker count, though, this is still very much an army versus army game, and Bllye has a really good army. So does Harstem. Lurkers,
he has 3. Oh,
he's got one right here. He was waiting for it to come in the front lines. Now he's got the immortal count to just kind of split up and try and get in here, but he doesn't realize there's so many lurkers on the left side, so he walks into more, thinking he's spreading for the ramp, loses about 20 supply. Now Harstem, of course, warping in more. Zealots trying to make up that supply difference, still just getting chunked away with his immortals. He can't get range on the ramp like this. This is not a position to take a fight. It looks like Bllye's about to crumple the army. GG!
Tap out, GG. Whoa.
Bllye's going to tie it up and take this to that ace match. I tell you who I feel bad for right now, though, is TLO. He's got to wait still to even get into his match, and it's already getting damn late. We didn't think this would go on so long, but whew, Game 5 coming up. We're going to go to a small break. When we return, we'll see who can lock this series down, get out of the group in first place. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon. All right, guys, sorry to shove that out in your face, but Harstem needed a moment. We're still waiting on him to join us in the lobby. The second he gets back, we'll be getting into Frost for the 5th final and ace match of this series. Winner of this will get out of the group in first place and move on to the round of 16, where they'll play with Mana and the other contestants. Second place finish of the group, however, will have to play one more best of 5 outside of today, and that'll be against the second place group finisher of the other European group to determine who else will go on with Mana. But yeah, for reminders, those who don't know, we already have the round of 16 seeded with players who won each of their regions in the last season of TING. So Snoot for the wild card, Mana for Europe, Rogue for Korea, and Masa for North America. It's made the groups here a little bit more hectic, and unfortunately a couple more extra games that need to be played, but I think it adds an interesting dynamic. I like that there's a reward for doing well in the previous season.
Yeah. Just a little bit to figure out how that would work out, but I think we did okay.
Yep. We do have Harstem joining us in the lobby now, so game number 5 coming up. It's Frost. We don't really have an intro for this one, so we'll just swap to the in-game scene, I suppose. Boom. There we go. I don't know if he was checking out the replay as Bllye's asking or what the deal was, but that was certainly a tough game.
Yeah. Yeah, Harstem didn't go check the replay. He just went to the bathroom.
Yeah. But okay, game number 5. It's tied up 2-2. I would like to remind you all again, this tournament is brought to you entirely And thanks to Ting. Well, we've got many great sponsors here on the channel. They are sponsoring the event, and without them, we wouldn't have the $5,000 prize pool or all these really awesome games going on. Quick reminder as well to go to bttv.ting.com, but more importantly, if you're joining us live in Twitch chat, type !clips and go learn how you can win some awesome prizes. Gift cards to Amazon, Twitch turbo codes, you name it. We want to reward you guys for watching the channel in extra ways, and it's just another way to get involved with that Clips contest. But spawning here on the upper right side of Frost, he is in the last game of this series, the blue Zerg, Bllye.
Bottom right as the red Protoss, he is Harstem.
Now Harstem, I really feel had a good handle on that game. And Bllye's Mutalisk swap was kind of like a Hail Mary, like a really risky move. But I love that he did it in a very calculated way. Like, he hit them in the back, he wanted to catch the Phoenix, he didn't want to reveal them too early. And even then, his choice to not over-dedicate, because he was starting to over-dedicate to them, and swap back to Lurkers, that's not an easy decision to make. At some point, you just start tunnel visioning hard. I don't care how good of a player you are, whether you're Korean, European, North America. We've seen it many times. Like, when players start tunnel visioning, that's when they start losing control of the game.
Yeah. Thank you to Mr. Boris Makarov for the 24-month resub. And
who's that guy?
I don't know. Just someone. I don't know.
I bet he lives in like Texas or something weird. It's probably really awesome. Who knows? Whatever.
So that last game, I mean, the meter transition was cool, and going back no Lurkers was probably the best option. But it was, if it wasn't so hectic, I don't think it would have worked. It was like the Ling run bys, the mutas actually not getting cleaned up like immediately, and just actually running around that I think really killed Harstem, who had all the right answers eventually, just not all consolidated, you know, at the exact right times. And unfortunately, getting cut off from his bases didn't help either in that last second. Fourth new sub of the day, AUT Scatman. Scatman.
Thank you, Scatman. I'm hoping that Scatman isn't like a Scatman and not somebody who's into scat, man, because that's gross and weird, and I don't understand that fetish at all.
Ew. Why are they both the same words?
I don't know.
That's my question.
Why is poo called stool? Like, it's something you sit on, man. Like, who thought that would be a good idea?
When I hear Scatman, I think, yeah, you're just really into it. It's gross.
See, I see Scatman as like that black guy with the jazz band, like in the background making the noises with his mouth, right? Like, I don't actually think of it the gross version right away.
That's not what I first learned what it was.
I guess that is, like, again, it goes back to our LOL discussion the other day, where it is what you learn first probably will be what sits with you. Like, I will never see LOL by default as laugh out loud. Always going to be lots of laughs, even though that's the incorrect version of it.
I remember the first time I was taught all these things. I had just gotten AIM on our family computer all the way in the basement, and I was talking to a friend.
Oh, Jesus, AIM.
And I had to ask her like what it meant. She thought it was naive or whatever.
So that's the thing. I remember being that guy who you just asked straight up. Like, you didn't feel embarrassed about it or anything. You're just like, I don't know what this means. Can you tell me? But now I feel embarrassed, and I don't know what changed. As an adult, I'm like, I have to Google this.
Society.
I can't ask Zombie Grub what, like, IDGAF means. I have to Google that. Like, I'll just feel embarrassed asking for some reason.
I feel like it's more like, why didn't we just Google it?
Well, once upon a time, I mean, it was not, I think, so obvious to go to a search engine for things, as weird as that is.
Once upon a time, that's true. But it's like now, you know, we just send you to, why don't I Google that for you?
Yeah, it's such a passive-aggressive answer, too. I hate when people do that. I will tell you right now, if I ever ask you a question, you or anyone listening, and you do that to me, you get the stink eye. Like, for reals.
It is such a douchebag way to incoming transmission. Oh, we were just being loved today.
Shiz donating $12 once more. I guess he thought his money, I mean, you think about it.
Z. He's losing letters as he donates to us.
His name's going to be She next. But every time he donates, Bllye gets better. I'm just saying, coincidence? Question mark. So $12 comes in, says go Bllye, and Blye's going for Banelings this game. He's going for +1, and he's setting up for a pretty heavy set attack. Harstem, on the other hand, not looking too shabby. Resonating Glaives. He's got a couple of gateways. I'm not sure if this will be with the Warp Prison for Crazy Harass. Like, right now it is, obviously, but if this ends up being super dedicated, I think it's all going to really hinge on how much he sees out of Bllye. You can't really warp in 12 Adepts into what is 40 Lings with +1 already on top of you.
Yeah, especially because he only has 2 gateways. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for literally explaining that. But
why don't I Google that for you?
You what?
Yeah.
Casting with you time seriously is like, let me Google that for you. But the Overlord's gonna get to the main, and there's no contest. The Mothership Core is, God, where?
With the army, it's coming forward, I think?
No, it's okay. It's hovering out here in the middle of three bases.
Nowhere.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the Queens are chasing out that Warp Prism. It's really down low. Banelings are made. Harstem really isn't going to get a lot of damage to Bllye. The question is whether Bllye gets a lot of damage to Harstem. And both players trading out a couple of probes, a couple of drones. Nothing too crazy yet. More drones are still dying in the natural base. We're watching these Lings as they're also going to get cleaned up. So even worker count at the end of the day, no one really gets ahead from these drops. But cool to see them both go for it.
Yeah, at the exact same time, who would micro better, who would attack and defend better? And the answer is actually Harstem, just slightest bit.
That's such a cute nickname. If Mr. Boris was eating, he'd be Mr. Boris Snackerov.
Snacks. I get it.
All right, this is, sorry, get a little bit offhand, or off topic. The attack to the south here is really good. It's only one Adept Warp in. You point out he doesn't have a lot of gateways, and he really doesn't. But the overcharges will hold this by the looks of it. These are where the additional gateways were coming down. So screw it, dives elsewhere. Baneling's coming in this time. What's up? A lot of one-hit kills here on these probes. He wastes the Banelings, unfortunately, so a little unfulfilling, you could say. Middle of the map. Oops, surprise, found your army. Walk away from that. Don't engage it just yet. Get the full might of the army.
Bllye really doesn't have that strong of an army. It is just Lings and whatever Banelings he can muster up, only at 4 right now. And I guess Queens to help out a little bit, too.
It's almost enough of the army, though, is the thing. Like, if there's more Banelings, I'd feel so much more confident in this. But it is primarily just Zerglings against what is a lot of Adepts. Going to be a couple of Force Fields. Back against the wall, maybe. But this is a good army for Harstem. The Queens are surprisingly, I think, a little bit more dangerous than anything else. If they get Warp Prism, it stops all future Warp-ins. Realizing this drives that back. Force Fields aren't too bad. Ling's got that surround. We got that pickup micro coming out of Harstem once again. Did this before. Pulls it off again. He holds against the Lings. It's only Queens remaining. And Harstem's army is still on even supply. What the what?
I mean, that was as good as Bllye was ever going to get with that surround. But thank God for Harstem's micro and the Warp Prism just in general. Like, you know, waiting to actually put that in the warp mode saved really important key units. But of course, now he's going to start warping in again. There we go. And Bllye is going to have a tougher time getting to Banelings again. That's a lot of Queens. That's a lot of Queens.
That's
they
a
just
lot of
got on top of that Warp
transfuses.
Prism.
Well, transfuses are going down. Queens just refuse to die. And looks like he's going to actually hold this. I'm actually not so worried about the Immortals this time as I am those Adepts. Just the numbers of them currently available, but constantly picking up. Never have I ever seen someone dedicate so much to these Immortals, but it does look like it's about time for Harstem to get out of there. So Bllye will defend. His worker count, not too bad behind this. 14 drones are about to pop. His upgrade's doing fantastic, and he's ready to go if another attack were coming right this second, which it's not, and he scouts that with the Overlords.
Oh, yeah. Harstem without, I guess, like, really key Archons or more Force Fields. I mean, the Banelings are always going to be somewhat effective, and there's just so many Lings and Queens. But now it's more worrisome about that Spire. That Spire is finished up, and Harstem doesn't have any response this time. He doesn't have a Stargate to start things off. He doesn't have, you know, Blink to help build a couple of Stalkers. Like, it's actually nothing.
Well, there's Banelings in this Overlord once again. There's a lot of probes here. This is going to be nasty.
Oh, dear.
Okay, well, that goes out really well for Bllye. Small drop getting quite a few kills. She donates $13. It says, my lucky number. Go, Bllye! I'm telling you, it's crazy. Look how good Bly's been playing. It's the donations, man. I'm telling you.
It is. Good job, man. Your donations are the only ones that have ever mattered.
Instead of betting on players, he's betting for players. There you go. Or donating for players.
Maybe this is just like the drop in the bucket compared to what he's going to win with Bllye wins.
Maybe. I don't know. But this has been a pretty good set so far for him, at least to start defending. Harstem comes again with another big attack. The hatchery is sure to die. Yeah, there we go. Bllye still got a lot of Queens from that early fight. He's got Mutus now, and there's not a lot of anti-air.
Oh,
this is where you dive past the army, get the Warp Prism, forget the Stalkers, just stop the reinforcements. That goes down. No shuffling of the Immortals. GG gets called. Ladies and gentlemen, Bllye will finish first place in the group and move on to the round of 16. This guarantees now Mana and Bllye in that European group. Donations work. Cebu, why weren't you donating for Harstem, man? You needed to counteract this is what it came down to. But no, seriously, that was a fantastic series out of both. Harstem looked so good at the start. Bllye really brought it back at the end. But now we get TLO versus Harstem in the very final series for this. And this will be interesting because not only is it, PVZ and that's good, it's a rematch. Now, TLO got stomped the first time, 3-0. But now he's had time to warm up. There's the bracket curse, and Harstem may, hopefully not, be on tilts from losing that series. We'll see how this plays out. First, though, we do have to go to commercial break from our sponsors, from TING. Without them, this tournament wouldn't be possible. So, we'll go with some we haven't seen Kyra. I always forget to do this. Kyra's like, I got a Ting crush on Kyra, guys. What can I say? We'll play an ad, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Thanks for watching. We'll get this last best of 5 set up and good to go.